light LCD display, set alarm value, and many more. So for bulk purchase, contact Kingdom Books and Stationery on 050-140-1050 or 0244-311-955. You can also walk into any of our offices located across the country or visit our head office located at Osu Ako Eje Junction. But guess what? The Chartered Insurance Institute of Ghana, CIIG, as part of its role in promoting professionalism in Ghana's insurance industry, has instituted the CIIG Insurance Awards to recognize and honor industry players for their valuable contributions. The maiden edition of CIIG Insurance Award is under the theme Celebrating Best Practices in Ghana's Insurance Industry. And it comes off on Saturday, 28th November 2020 at the Labadi Beach Hotel, Accra at 6 p.m. So for more information, call 0207 628947 or email at info@ciig.edu.gh or visit the website www.ciig.com.gh. And the awards are audited by KPMG, so you know it's a very credible award. Kindly note that all COVID-19 protocols will be observed at the event. But Bank of Africa Ghana wants you to know that it's pleased to inform you that you can now pay for all your government service fees at any of its branches or online using the Bank of Africa web banking application. So pay all your taxes, custom duties, and MMDA levies and administrative fees and other service fees to DVLA Birth and Death Registry, Registrar General's Department, Ministry of Foreign Affairs, FDA, GSA, etc. at any Bank of Africa Ghana using the Ghana.gov platform. And the good thing is that our well-trained staff are available to assist you swiftly, and the service is available to both customers and non-customers of the bank. For further details, kindly visit any Bank of Africa Ghana branch or call us on 0302 429333. Bank of Africa, the African bank with a global reach. All right, so time for us to bring you Manifesto Tracker, and Dennis Asari seated here with us, ready to tell us what's happening and what the political parties, the two main political parties, are saying when it comes to dealing with or fighting corruption as we get ready for election 2020. First of all, we want to find out, whether these are things we need and whether they are doable, the feasibility of it. Dennis, good morning. Thank you very much for joining us.
Good morning, Winston, and thanks for having me.
I believe you're doing very well. It's been a while.
Very well.
Lots of issues have been breaking.
Yeah, definitely.
Around this time when we have to have Manifesto Tracker. But let's look at corruption. It's one thing that was a major campaign promise in 2016. In fact, there are many who believe the 2016 election was won based on perceived corruption and plans to deal with corruption. We're getting into 2020, and the issue of corruption has come up again for discussion. We've seen the case of Martin Amidu. He's resigned now. He thinks that when you're fighting corruption, corruption fights you. Let's look at the promises of the political parties. How do they intend to deal with corruption? Are these the kind of promises we need, and are they feasible?
Okay, so Winston, good morning to you, and good morning to our listeners. Let me say, corruption is a very big problem, despite the progress we are making democratically.
Okay.
You see that one of the things that is dragging the country behind is corruption, but there seems to be this perception that, once we set up institutions or we pass a particular law, automatically then the issue of corruption will be resolved.
So the feeling is that once you have the Office of the Special Prosecutor, EOCO, then that's the end of it. But that certainly is not the case.
That's not the case at all. So if you look at global scoring, so global assessment of our performance on corruption, a key one is the one by Transparency International's Corruption Perception Index. From between 2012 and 2014, Ghana was doing better to a point where Ghana was even ranked 61 out of the 190 countries. But after 2014, 15, 16, coming to 2019, our performance has been very worse. So if you look at how corruption influenced the 2016 election, the thought was that from 2017 to 2020, we should be performing better. But if you look at the Corruption Perception Index, Ghana is not doing well at all. Like, we've dropped even 2 places consistently, and currently we are ranked 80th among 180 countries. Now, if you look at even the World Bank's index on the World Bank Worldwide Governance Indicator on Corruption, if you look at the country's ability to control corruption, we are just doing about 50% of even controlling corruption. And the sad thing is that if you look at the Tracy Bribery Index matrix, we realize that even in 2020, Ghana's control of corruption, or the tendency for a businessman to pay bribe, is even much higher.
Oh, it's high in Ghana?
Yes.
It means, I mean, we're not able
So
to fight
if you look at the
corruption.
matrix, they rank us in a category, a quadrant called moderately risky. So there's a tendency that 50% of the time, if you try to access any public institution in this country that is linked to business development, you have to pay bribe to get your activities fast tracked. Just recently, I think about 2 weeks ago, the UK Ghana Chamber of Commerce, they published a report, and when they were highlighting the challenges they face in doing business in this country, corruption and bribery was a key factor. Out of the 5 reforms that they were proposing, corruption was one of the major issues that they want government to implement policies to resolve corruption and bribery, especially within the public sector. So
Okay.
we have made much progress in terms of setting up institutions and regulations, but because it's not been well coordinated, one of the challenges we have faced as a country is that there's that lack of policy coherence when it comes to fighting corruption. So Yoko is working separately. You have Narcotic Control Board working separately. OSP is working separately. The Attorney General is working separately. The Right Information Secretariat is also working separately. So because of the lack of coordination and coherence between the policies and even institutions we set up, that's why we are not making any progress. So if you look at the manifestos, what I am expecting is that the manifestos will actually touch on solving corruption right from the Office of Government Machinery. That's from the presidency. You see, when this government took power in 2017, the first report that Imani released was that charity begins at home. That if you look at all the corruption matters we have seen in this country, they all start from under the presidency.
Perceived corruption.
Perceived corruption.
Yes.
Let me say that. The other stuff from the, and some have even been proven. Second, the Public Procurement Authority boss. It's clear.
Yes,
It's
yes.
and
Yes,
some of
that
the
has been
activi-
proven. Shraj has done that
some-
investigation
some
and has
of the
led to
activities or
it,
some
yes.
of these agreements went through the presidency to the public procurement, came back. You understand? So you could understand that most of these activities happen at the central place of government. Now, the question is, if we are not able to resolve it at the place where most of these contracts go to, for example, look at Ejapa, a clear architecture of other corruption intent or the intention to waste public resources. Look at the recent Accra Intelligence Traffic Management System. It's an agreement that has been signed, Parliament have approved, work has started. But I don't know whether by innovation or someone's intent, the government is abrogating that contract, and a clear judgment that is looming at our faces. So in terms of government's commitment to even fighting corruption, we have not seen that.
Okay.
So if you look at their manifestos...
Yes, now let's look at their manifestos, and let's start with the NDC. Now, they talk about, Operation Sting and others. What does the NDC say it wants to do if giving the mandate in 2021?
So if you look at the NDC manifesto, 2020 manifesto, they want to launch this project called Operation Sting as an anti-corruption crusade, which will involve a massive kind of an overarching approach to implementing government reforms that will kind of prevent the incidence of corruption within the public sector. But if you look at how corruption happens within the public sector, it happens in a way of kind of accessing public services. So what this government tried to do to resolve it was through a digitization project. But we've not seen the digitization project being consistently implemented. Now, the major problem when it comes to corruption is that we have not been able to carefully create a single policy or framework that addresses corruption in this country. So if you are going to still follow this approach of applying different, different policy programs, or different approaches, while these institutions have not been well coordinated, while these legal frameworks have not been well coordinated, even now that corruption is classified as a felony, we are seeing the incidence of corruption even still increasing. So what I was expecting is that there will be much more institutional cohesion, but I don't see that in the manifesto.
So in effect, you're saying that while the NDC talks about Operation Sting, the details of Operation Sting, for you, and based on all the analysis you have done, don't seem to solve the problem we're faced with.
It doesn't. Let me give you an example.
Sure.
They said codify conflict of interest situations for the various categories of public officials and enforce applicable sanctions. All of that is clearly stated in the PPA Act. The PPA Act clearly fights against, or there are sections of it that talks against conflict of interest. Another thing they want to introduce conflict of interest, moral civic education at the high school curriculum. The country is faced with a corruption problem that is affecting businesses, increasing cost of businesses, affecting even the perception of this country on a global scale, that it will even affect investor confidence. And if we are looking at an approach of resolving corruption, I don't expect to see this. What I really expect to see is much more institutional coordination and cohesion, where there's a single authority that actually deals with corruption, and that authority is independent of any other government influence, independent of other political appointment, but they work independently to ensure that once they start following corruption issues, they wouldn't face some of the problems that the past special prosecutor has faced. And for that matter, he said out of the major interferences that he has faced in the process of his duty or performing his duty, he's stepping aside. So this Operation Sting, it is really not clear. If you try to look at the clarity of the approach they want to apply the Operation Sting, it will still be the normal ones that we have all the time seen in this country. It's not any novel idea I'm seeing at fighting corruption, because most of the things that they want to address, existing regulations fight against that. Look at the act that sets up UCO. Look at what Narcotics Control Board is doing, what the FDA is doing. They are all trying to fight a particular form of crime that is happening in this country. So what you should, I expected to see in the NDC manifesto is much more attempts to build institutional cohesion. If you look at the NPP's manifesto, what they are trying to do is that expand more on digitization. That most of these business processes that creates room for corruption will be digitized. For example, registering business. For example, accessing other public facilities that is linked to, let's see, business development. That is also linked to, let's see, accessing government services. What they want to do is that digitize all of these things, like what they did at the port, a paperless port system that kind of takes away the human face or the human interaction that actually leads to corruption, so that they minimize the tendency of people influencing their processes. That's one thing that they want to pursue. Then they also come back to more like building more institutional cohesion among the corruption and anti-corruption agencies we have in this country. But one challenge that I didn't see is building the capacity of these agencies. You know, there was a report in 2018, that's by some researchers, and they found that if you look at the judiciary, the police, and some anti-corruption agencies that work even at the local community level, they lack the expertise to identify even crime. For example, organized crime. Now, Ghana is one of the central parts when it comes to organized crime trafficking. Ghana plays a key role in organized crime within West Africa. And if you look at the transit regions between Europe, North America, and South America, and how they transit organized crime or narcotics across the world, Ghana is a central hub. Additionally, if you look at the organized crime index, we found out that Ghana is ranked around 26th country globally to be experiencing more organized crime. And even when it comes to the sub-region, we are a key player. But the challenge is that the institutions that are meant to resolve these problems don't even have the capacity, the resources to even fight that.
And so you're expecting to see attempts at, dealing with organized crime in the party manifestos.
Yes, and it doesn't really come out clear, because they don't know that one thing the parties missed in terms of fighting corruption is that organized crime is one of the main factors that is driving corruption in this country. So people make, let me see, for the lack of a better word, dirty money, and they're able to influence government operations, get what they want, and even influence even election decisions or who actually gets to win power in this country. Okay. So that's the nature of how corruption is evolving. And the way organized crime is growing, we are more likely to see a sharp rise in the incidence of organized crime in this country, and that is going to increase corruption. As we are seeing now, we are going to see a much more increase. If we don't try to resolve it, even from the local community levels, we are going to see a sharp rise. So I didn't see that in the two manifestos. And looking at the problems we see now, I don't think these two approaches are the solution we need in addressing corruption in this country. Yeah.
I certainly would come back to you. That's Dennis Asare, internal consultant at Imani, saying that, based on the problems facing us when it comes to corruption, he doesn't think that, these two political parties have what it takes to address the challenges that we have faced when it comes to corruption. What do you think? You think that they have put in place the right measures to deal with it? Why don't you join us on Twitter using the hashtag JoySMS? I'd love to know what your thoughts are. This is the Super Morning Show on Joy 99.7 FM. We'll go for some few messages. When we return, we'll continue with our conversation on Tracker and then also get to speak to our friends from UDS.
What would you do if you have the choice to do anything in life? Build your dream house, take very good care of your family, and plan for a comfortable retirement. Plan a befitting funeral for your loved ones when they depart. How would you live if you knew there was a friend waiting to support you on all of your life's choices?
You have such a friend in Glyco Life Insurance. Glyco Life has all the plans to meet your life's needs. Your child's education, your life savings, your mortgage, funerals, redundancy, and your retirement, and takes the burden off your shoulders. So go ahead and live life to the fullest today with Glyco Life Insurance plans. And remember that all our policies are hedged against inflation. Talk to Glyco Life on 0302 218 500 or 246 142. Also visit our website at www.glycolife.com or any of our branches nationwide for more information.
Glyco Life, we cushion you for life.
Glyco, we cushion you for life.
Ades,
Yes.
no NDC for manifesto no. Emu pipa pa na wo ya no.
Ai, makai. Na de hia mi titru wo mu ni chempe no. Yewura mama say oba school pon a universities polytechnic ni nursing school na fees no. O chem mienu na wafa maako.
Na de me de kra pon say busia ye de ma school for no. Yewura John Mahama say obetum na wetua ne ntem so.
Sir, na watin so say yewura jo mama say oba eye ekitafo wo say school fo nya ansa no madi busia de atua fees no. We twemu ana.
We yen hihye papa. Na de kume kra ne student loan plus scheme no. Yewura John Mahama say o de beba biem. San hihye be bu school for o menya akwenya wo school mo. Moment some school fees in them. Answer school crash ase.
Yewura jo mama when so adi hu pa. On the 7th December, me to my my number 2. Oh, ballot paper so any challenger.
No challenger. Ades, ye to abana ko hen.
Ye to ababa chempe.
Juma Mahama ni NDC ama ejuma ni inkoso aba ama ye nyina.
We know this year has been a little booga booga, but Unia, don't worry. Christmas will still be one amazing experience with NASCO because we'll make it an affordable bronya. No one is left out of the discounts and gifts. Our 40-inch satellite TV is going for 949 Ghana cedis, 43 for 1,099, and a 55-inch UHD Smart TV Plus audio tower is going for 2,799 Ghana cedis. Christmas week, Chilean Casa with AC starting from 1,199, fridge for as low as 599, washing machine for 479, with gifts like blenders, kettles, free audio systems, and more. Don't miss the affordable bronya with the best affordable appliances in Ghana. Visit all our shops and authorized resellers now. Christmas with NASCO is jolly.
Are you a young person dealing with disruptions caused by COVID-19 to your career, education, emotions, health, or social life? We warmly invite you to the COVID-19 Recovery and Resilience Program, also known as CORE, designed to equip you with resilience and to bounce back from the socio-economic and emotional effects of this pandemic. The CORE program offers job readiness skills, emotional support, personal development, and business coaching from weekly interactive group sessions with professional counselors and mentors in your chosen field. Our sessions are all free, virtual, and rendered in English, Ga, Dangme, Chi, Ewe, Hausa, and Dagari. Visit our website, core.com.gh to register or WhatsApp the word mentoring or counseling to our hotline 055 153 5533. Follow us at Core Program on social media. Our website is 0 rated for MTN users. No data cost. Get a free certificate for completing our courses and be equipped for life beyond this pandemic. The CORE program is an initiative of the Springboard Roadshow Foundation in partnership with Solidaridad and the MasterCard Foundation. CORE, learning together, growing together.
Foreman, how can say the screening be smooth, perfect, where it dey dry fast like that?
Contractor, I always dey tell you say Interface self-leveling screed be the best solution. It dey dry fast, where you dey make the job neat. In fact, it pass analog. This be original digital Interface self-leveling screed.
Hey, babe, I hear you, Interface man.
Interface Limited is the leading supplier and installer of finishing input materials for the building and construction industry in Ghana. Call us on 0274 999999 or visit our website at
www.interfacelimited.net. Facebook Interface Limited GH. Instagram interface.limited.
Right, so welcome back, and thank you very much for staying with us. I love that Kojenchi song. I remember Akonoba, at that time at the National Theatre, when Mr. Rollins, the late former president, Jerry John Rollins, was there. But Old Mutual, Amazing Voices is back for season 2, and the Pan-African TV talent search gives unsigned singing groups a shot at $100,000, and auditions are online. So you know what? If you're a group of 4, 6, or 8, and you sing gospel, pop, or R&B, the time is now to upload a 2-minute audition video to www.oldmutual.co.za/amazing voices, and your name could be up in the lights courtesy of Old Mutual. And entries close on the 26th of November 2020. That's on Thursday. So visit any of our social media pages at Old Mutual Ghana for more information. Old Mutual Ghana provides life insurance and pension services. But your favorite shopping and entertainment destination is 6 years old. Yes, the Junction Mall is 6th this November, and to celebrate the birthday, we are offering you big discounts and lots of entertainment in our anniversary shopping bazaar and electronics fair from November 27 to 29. So come and shop in a safe and secure and serene environment while enjoying live rendition of your favorite tunes throughout the weekend. Please wear a mask and ensure full compliance with our safety protocols. The Junction Mall. Join, explore, shop, and enjoy. But citizens of Ghana, it's time to, again, for us to further consolidate Ghana's democratic gains. And so eligible voters on 7 December 2020 will vote to elect who should govern our country by showing up at polling stations or polling centers to participate in this democratic exercise. Remember to vote on issues and reject candidates who incite violence. And as a good citizen, refrain from political violence and electoral malpractices. Go along with your voter's ID card to the polling station, cast your vote peacefully, and cooperating with all lawful agencies. Exercise your right to vote safely and adhere to COVID-19 safety protocols at polling stations. Get involved, pay attention, stay engaged, and let your vote count. It's your civic responsibility, and there's a message from the National Commission for Civic Education, NCCE. So MDS Lancet Laboratories Ghana Limited is pleased to announce the opening of the new Tema branch in Community 1. We now have 2 facilities in Tema, Community 9 opposite the General Hospital, and Community 1. So locate our new branch in Tema Community 1 in the same building with Star Assurance close to Prudential House. For more information, contact us on 0504 101201 or 0302 610 480. You can also reach us on our Facebook page, MDS Lancet Laboratories, or follow us on Instagram at MDS Lancet. MDS Lancet is an ISO 15189 2012 certified laboratory, the optimum standard for medical laboratories. MDS Lancet, key to diagnostic excellence. Okay, so I still have Dennis, Sarah here with me. We're talking about corruption and on our Manifesto Tracker today. So Dennis Asari is an internal consultant from Imani. Dennis, so you're saying that if you look at the 2-party manifestos, they don't address the organized crime, some of the things that we need to address in order to deal with corruption.
But I think the fundamental issues, they don't touch on it. Fundamentally, it's not about creating new set of institutions. It's not about passing new set of laws. What we actually need now is to build more cohesion, institutional coordination, and guarantee the extent of independence that some of these institutions need to fight corruption. And sometimes even the timelines in even prosecuting corruption-related cases. I think we need to work on the whole judicial
But we're told the wheels of
that.
justice grind slowly. I mean, yes, government may want to prosecute. Government would have to go to court, and the court would take time to do, these things. So you can't blame
and some of these issues sometimes too, it's about the capacity of these institutions in identifying some of these wrongdoings, like Trace, identify organized crime, identifying who the wrong parties are, tracking some of these problems. And because we lack a whole set of data on, especially on organized crime, we don't have a comprehensive data on organized crime in this country. It's not actually something recorded, it's something that it's known, it's published all the time in the news, but as to a comprehensive national data, because we lack that, it becomes difficult for those institutions even dealing with it. When such issues are presented, it takes a long time for them to identify the wrongdoings, prosecute, and know how to even administer justice. Once we address the underlying institutional problems, we will be able to deal with all of these problems. I don't think we should create new things. What we have now, it's enough, but let's try to kind of coordinate the activities very well so that they can work hand in hand, share data, share skills, and improve on some key capacity building issues that foreign agencies like the CIA and other big anti-corruption agencies across the world are actually doing. Yeah.
So if you were looking at corruption and you wanted to vote based on corruption, the two parties don't cut it for you.
And it is very clear in this government's performance. If you look at the Manifesto Assessment Framework under corruption and governance and public accountability, they perform very poorly. When we did the Manifesto Assessment.
What was their performance?
And if you look at their performance under governance and corruption, I think they scored 23% out of the promises that they made to resolve corruption and public accountability. That was their worst performance in between 2017 to 2020. So it tells you that under governance, corruption, public accountability, we even merge governance and other activities together. But if you look at corruption alone, they scored even less than 50%. So you can see that although they may be, they have this idea or they have this will to fight corruption, but in terms of their commitment to fighting corruption, we can see that they have not performed better. And it is very sad that between 2017 to now, all the global corruption indicators, Ghana is performing very poorly.
Yeah. Interesting. I wanted us to go to an overview of the manifestos, but time wouldn't allow us to do that. I think we should do the last one next week. I was thinking we could do the last one today, but maybe we'll have to come back again and finish that up. But Dennis, it's been great having you. It's been great having you talk to us on corruption and how the two main political parties intend, to deal with corruption in the 2020 manifestos. You're still live here on the Super Morning Show on Joy 99.7 FM. Coming up shortly will be our friends from the University of Development Studies. Now they are organizing. Their Faculty of Education is coming up with a program which seeks to look at the policies that political parties have when it comes to education in this country. And they'll be talking to us more about that shortly here on the Super Morning Show. But first, some few messages. Then when we come back, we get into the conversation about education and why UDS wants to organize this policy debate on education amongst political parties.
Same great bang. Because the greatest things are born from the smallest of thoughts. Just as your seeds in a rich soil grow to become trees that bear fruits, the Agricultural Development Bank, ADB, helps you sow, invest, nurture, and grow your personal